Let's Estimate, a book about estimating and rounding numbers by David A. Adler, illustrated by Edward Miller. How old are you? Did you answer 10, 11, or 12? What you answered is probably not the exact age. It's your approximate age. If it's not your birthday, you should have said about 10, 11, or 12. Of course, when someone asks your age, it would be odd to give your exact age. It would be odd if you answered, I'm 10 years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 12 minutes old. And your age keeps changing. Now you may be 10 years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 12 minutes old. Soon, you'll be 10 years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 13 minutes old. When someone asks how old you are, he wants to know about how old you are or how old you were on your last birthday. Many times, an approximate answer is just as good as an exact answer. Sometimes it's even better. If someone were to ask the population of the United States, you might answer 320 million. For most purposes, that's a perfectly acceptable answer, but it's not an exact answer. It's an estimation. The population of the United States is about 320 million. It would be difficult to give the exact population of the United States. Each day, people are born and people die. People move to the United States and people leave. The population keeps changing. It's often important to estimate. When you're food shopping, it's good to estimate the total cost of all the items in your cart. You need to know you have enough money to pay for it all. How would you estimate the total cost of the items in your cart? You might try rounding the cost of each item and then adding them. When you estimate, you make an educational guess at an exact number. When you round a number, you change it so it's easier to work with the number. Estimating is not rounding. Rounding is not estimating, but rounding can help you estimate. For example, you might have a box of cereal in your cart and the cost might be $3.95. That's about $4, so you round the cost of cereal to $4. You might have a quart of milk in your car and the cost might be $1.95. That's about $2, so you round the cost of the quart of milk to $2. You might have 3 bananas in your cart, and the cost of each might be 30 cents. Together, the 3 bananas cost about 90 cents. You might even round the 90 cents to $1. After rounding the cost of cereal, milk, and bananas, you add them together. $4 plus $2 plus $1 equal $7. You would estimate the cost of the items in your cart to be $7. The actual cost of the items in your cart is $6.77. It's especially important to estimate when you use a calculator. Here's a multiplication problem Sarah has for homework. 19 multiplied by 11. 19 is just one less than 20. 11 is just one more than 10. Since 20 multiplied by 10 is 200, Sarah estimates that 19 multiplied by 11 is about 200. But the answer on a calculator is 2,109. There's a lot more than her estimation, but does the problem again. This time the answer on a calculator is 209. 209 is close to our estimation of 200. What happened? The first time Sarah did the problem on her calculator, by mistake, she multiplied 19 by 111 instead of 11. By estimating before she did the problem, she knew her first answer was wrong. If you estimate is very different from your answer on your calculator, you made a mistake. To make her estimate, Sarah rounded both 19 and 11 to the nearest 10. Rounding is helpful when you estimate. When you estimate, you guess what the actual number is. When you round a number, you know the actual number, but you change it to the number that is easier to use. There are no real rules for estimating, just that you try to get close to the actual number. There are rules for rounding. Rounding is often done to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, or nearest 1,000, and higher. When you round to the nearest 10, you look at the digit just to the right of the tens place. If it is 5 or more, you round up. If it is 5 or less, you round down. In the number 463, the digit 6 is in the tens place. The digit just to the right is 3. 3 is less than 5, so you round down. 463 rounded to the nearest 10 is 460. In the number 1,248, the digit 4 is in the tens place. The digit to its right is 8. 8 is more than 5, so you round up. 1,248 rounded to the nearest 10 is 1,250. To round to the nearest 100, look at the digit in the hundreds place. In the number 427, the digit 4 is in the hundreds place. The digit just to the right is 2. 2 is less than 5, so you round down. 427 rounded to the nearest 100th is 400. In the number 4,162, the digit 1 is in the hundredths place. The digit just to the right is 6. 6 is more than 5, so you round up. 4,162 rounded to the nearest 100th is 4,200. When you round a number to the nearest 100, all digits to the right of the hundred place will be zeros. To round to the nearest 1,000, look at the digit in the thousands place. In the number 2,862, the digit 2 is in the thousands place. The digit just to the right is 8. 8 is more than 5, so you round up. 2,862 rounded to the nearest 1,000th is 3,000. In the number 238,915, the digit 8 is in the thousands place. The digit just to the right is 9. 9 is more than 5, so you round up. 238,915 rounded to the nearest thousandth is 239,000. When you round a number to the nearest thousandth, all digits to the right of the thousands place will be zeros. People often use rounded numbers. When the newspaper reports that 115 million people watch the Super Bowl, surely the number of viewers have been rounded to the nearest million. People often estimate. When you decide how many pizzas to buy for a party, you're estimating how much your friends will eat. When someone says, "I'll be at your house in 20 minutes, that's an estimation. When someone says, "I spent $300 shopping," surely he rounded the amount he spent to the nearest $10. Pick any two-digit numbers. Estimate what your answer would be if you multiplied them. Use what you learned about rounding numbers to help you make your estimate. Use a calculator to multiply the numbers. How close was your estimate to the actual answer? Estimating and rounding are very useful skills. The more you estimate and round numbers, the better you'll get at it. How many steps does it take to walk from your house to the next? How many houses are there on your block? Estimate how many steps it will take you to walk from one end of your block to the other. Then count as you walk. How close was your estimate to the actual number of steps?